welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to 5 Minutes with Gray Hair Dave. That's right, my name's Dave. I still have gray hair. I've got a gray beard. I wear glasses like the guy in the artwork, and I do have a green shirt like that. Unfortunately, I haven't done any laundry since I came back from vacation, which was yesterday, and the green shirts are both dirty. I only have two. Thinking about ordering more. But, anyways, folks, how are you today? It's Monday for me, the beginning of a new week of work for most everybody, or a new week of vacation. My vacation ends at midnight tonight. Today is really my day off. I go back to work tomorrow, and I am looking forward to it, and I'm not looking forward to it. I don't hate my job, folks. Don't get me wrong. But you know, when you come back from vacation, you go, oh, just a couple more days. But anyway, I am back. I had a wonderful time. And thank you all for those of you who listened while I was on vacation. I appreciate that. That was really nice. I did get to relax, which was the main reason for me going. Now, I don't lead an overly stressful life. I don't. I'm me. I don't have, I'm not worried about a partner or a girlfriend or anything like that. It's just me. And I live alone and it's not a big deal. But I work, I'm doing this. Now, granted, this may take me, I don't know, total for the week, 2.5, maybe 3 hours at the most to get everything done, all the editing and everything else done for this podcast, which is not a lot when you really think about it. But these podcasts are not hour-long podcasts. When I was doing Poetry of Christian Faith with my brother, we'd record for an hour or so, and then the editing, because I listened to the whole thing as I edit, usually was an hour and a half per episode. Now we got the episodes down to 45 minutes, and then we got them down to like 35. But between getting everything edited the way I wanted it, and that was before I had some of the new technology that I'm using today, like RX10 from iZotope, which does all kinds of amazing things. I took me that long. Now, I'm not saying that iZotope would have made it quicker. It probably would have taken me longer if I had done it with RX10. But RX is not a cheap It's not a cheap program, and you have to wait till that kind of thing goes on sale if you're on a budget like I am. But anyways, we're a couple minutes in here, folks. Again, thank you for being here. I told you that I wanted to talk about 1976 last week. I think I had one day with it. That's not very smart on my part. So 1976, all right. I had graduated high school. I was out dating. I was having a good time. And then I got a job in the paper mill. Our town had 2 paper mills. And at the time, my sister-in-law worked at one of them, which didn't hurt. I think that helped me get the job. Making paper is a fun process, folks. It really is. If you look at it as an outsider, if you look at it as an insider, it's hard work sometimes. Sometimes there's not a lot of hard work. Sometimes you're sitting around for hours with nothing to do. And then it's pure chaos for an hour, and then it slows down. Depends on which paper making machine you are on. Now, the company I worked for at the time, that's the only company I worked for in making paper. We had 8 paper machines. They're called 1 through 8, of course. I started out on number 1, which was, of course, the oldest one around. And It was different than all the other ones. It was more of an antique. Even when I came into it in 1976, it had already been around for, oh my gosh, 40, 50 years, you know. I'll look that up to see exactly when that was put in, but it, it made paper. We did a good job with it. We made mainly what's called carbon paper, which is the original paper for the carbon paper. And if you don't know what carbon paper is, folks, do me a favor. Look it up. It's what we used to put between sheets of paper to copy things down when we wrote or when we typed or whatever. We would make the original and we'd send it out to whatever company was buying it from us. Then they would go ahead and do whatever it was they did to put ink on one side and then cut it to the sheets and sizes that they wanted. We cut it into rolls, and because, these machines don't spit out flat paper. I mean, the paper is flat, but it starts, you got to keep the machine rolling all the time. It's got to keep moving because of the process of making the pulp, adding the water, adding the ingredients that you need to make it, sending it over. Then you got to grind it all up. And then you need to, once you find it, send it to the machine, put it up through a screen where you could start taking the water out. First you got to put the water in, and you got to take the water back out. And then you got to dry it. And that's a process. And it's it's not a hard process because the machine does everything for you. But there's a process to getting it done, making it the proper weight, making it, the thickness of the paper consistent. It's a process. And then, you take it from the machine, you take it over to what we called a winder or a rewinder, where we would cut it into specific sizes, in specific widths and specific either length and or size. And then we would ship it out to the customer. All sounds easy, right? Well, it ain't. Sometimes these machines, when you're changing weights for different customers, or you're changing colors, because we do all kinds of colors, sometimes things go awry and, or things break and you got to get them fixed. So you need to shut the machine down. There's a lot involved there, including valves everywhere. And it's just a lot. It really is. Because you got to think about it. This thing is 3 stories tall. You got parts that are in the basement, basically. Got the main floor, and you got this huge, what we call the Yankee dryer. On number one, I got a feeling it was a good 12 to 14 foot diameter dryer. And it was, I believe, 120 inches, so 10 feet wide. It may have been 14, I don't know. But it was quite wide. And, you're pumping hot air into that. Hot air going into that thing. That's why they call it a dryer. It helped to dry the paper. So, and that machine didn't go more than, I want to say 200 or 300 feet a minute, 200 or 300 feet a minute, which was pretty fast, I think. I know that the other machines went a lot faster, and I'd have to look all that information up again because it's been, oh gosh, I left there in 86, so it's almost 40 years ago I left there, and it was a fun place to be sometimes, and again, like I said, it was sometimes not. That's a paper mill. That's a basic understanding of what a paper mill is. And then it's very basic. There's much, much more in it, and the things that I did while I was there, we'll get into those things as we go along. We got a few years. I was there for 10 years until I said it's enough, and I moved away. So we're here at almost 10 minutes, folks. And I want to thank you again for being here. we talked about a little bit about music just at last Monday. And I had stopped at number 10 for 1976, which was The Fifth of Beethoven by Walter Murphy and the Big Apple Band. And I wanted to say that number 13 was I Write the Songs by Barry Manilow. Seals and Crofts, Get Closer. Seals and Crofts. We're going to talk about Seals and Crofts here soon. They were a great little band. Two guys, weird, but they did good. Love Hurts by Nazareth. You Sexy Thing by Hot Chocolate. Sweet Love by the Commodores. Love Roller Coaster by the Ohio Players. The Ohio Players, the Commodores, KC and the Sunshine Band had Shake, 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 Shake Your Booty. Those were disco. Disco was coming in 76. David Bowie, Golden Years. You know, you had Turn the Beat Around by Vicki Sue Robinson. Lonely Night by Captain and Tennille. You know, Dr. Hook, A Little Bit More. Shannon by Henry Gross. If You Leave Me Now by Chicago. And that's where I'm going to leave off. If You Leave Me Now. Folks, what were you doing back in 1976? What was your favorite music? What was your favorite movies? What were your favorite things to do? Go to my website, 5 Minutes with Gray Hair Dave. Leave me a message. Let me know what was going on in your life. That's 5 Minutes with GrayHairDave.com. The number 5 Minutes with GrayHairDave.com. Leave me a message in the contact me page, or you just click that little microphone in the bottom right-hand corner of any page, and it'll allow you to leave a voicemail for me. Folks, if you know somebody who doesn't know how to download a podcast or doesn't know what a podcast is, do us all a favor. Show them how to do it for me. So for Gray Hair Dave saying, have a great Monday. Don't forget to smile at somebody you don't know. You all have a great day. Bye-bye.